What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Wise here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. I have Arto Minasyan. He's the co-founder of Krisp.ai and 10web.io. And Arto, it's not always frequent that I've used the product that the founder is coming on. Krisp, I use regularly. It's great. Actually, my co-founder, John Corcoran, just did a talk to an EO group. And, you know, we launch our own podcast. So he made everyone, before the event, download the Krisp app onto their phone. I haven't told you this. So that they can record an interview using Krisp on their phone. And so thanks for what you do. Thanks for what you created. And it's definitely powering a lot of really cool relationships and conversations. Before I formally introduce Arto, I want to mention a couple other episodes of the podcast people should check out. Since we're going to go and talk about AI and specifically voice AI in this episode, I had Quinn Kramer, CEO and co-founder of Daily. They're a leading real-time video platform that provides APIs for integrating audio, video, and AI into apps. Check out the episode. Fascinating. Also, Blair Williams, because what Arto created with 10web.io is really helping it make it easier for people to build sites in WordPress. And Blair Williams, I had on, he is owner of Caseproof, and it's really the company behind some of the industry-leading WordPress plugins. If you've heard of or used MemberPress, Pretty Links, Easy Affiliate, Wishlist Member, MemberMouse, and more, that's what he's behind. So check that out, and many more on InspiredInsider.com. This episode is brought to you by Rise25. At Rise25, we have businesses give to, and we help them connect to their dream relationships and partnerships. We do that in a few ways. One, we're an easy button for a company to launch and run a podcast. We do the strategy, accountability, and the full execution and production. Number two, we're an easy button for a company's corporate gifting. We make gifting, staying top of mind to clients, partners, prospects, even staff, simple, easy, and affordable. You know, for us, you know, Arto, it's not about, you know, it's about sending ongoing gifts. So our campaigns that we run are usually, we send a gift every 3 to 4 months for 4 years to people. And we don't, and again, I don't know, people may disagree with this. We don't send swag or mugs or pens or things. We like to send food because I like to get food. So most of the time, the family's devouring it before the actual person who's supposed to receive it gets it in their hands. So if you have questions, you go to rise25.com, email us at support@rise25.com. We're kind of the easy button and secret weapon behind some of these companies, helping them build amazing relationships. So check it out. I'm excited to introduce Arto, as I mentioned, co-founder of Krisp.ai and 10web.io. Two successful VC-backed startups that collectively raised $28 million and achieved profitability. He manages teams of around 300 professionals across both companies and really helps drive innovation. And under his guidance, Krisp was honored as one of Time's best inventions of 2020. If you remember listening to this during COVID, everyone was on Zoom. Everyone was on a, platform to communicate virtually with people. And I had Krisp before Zoom, before COVID, but it basically helps so that it takes out all the background noise that's going on. If your dog's barking and you want to be on a professional Zoom call, you got to install Krisp, right? And they have B2B and B2C as well. So they were honored as Time's best inventions of 2020. 10web AI website builder successfully generated over 1 million websites. So I'm excited to dig into this. Arto, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Jeremy, for inviting me.
Just start off with Krisp and what you do. I'm going to pull up the website as you're talking.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we started from noise cancellation in 2017. I think we were the pioneers of AI-powered noise cancellation. Initially, we thought that it would be hard to build a company on top of one feature, but we decided to build an application which will work horizontally with all conferencing apps. So it's basically a virtual microphone. You choose it in Zoom, in Teams, in Google Meet, anywhere, and this just works out of the box. And in 2020, it went viral. And allowed us basically to scale the company because everyone was on Zoom during the COVID times. But like one thing that we realized, all big companies, all the platforms are going to build that noise cancellation feature and provide it for free. Maybe not at that quality, maybe it wouldn't work for all use cases for all people, but still it would be hard for us to grow the company just by having one feature. So we started working on like several things inside the company, and now I can proudly say that Krisp is a multi-technology, multi-product company. So one of our main products is called AI Meeting Assistant, which provides like transcription, recording, meeting notes, and all that it does on device. So it's very secure, very high effective platform, and it doesn't require any third party bot joining the meeting. And it also accumulates all companies' meeting data in one like workplace. And also it has all the cool features on voice AI stuff. So it has noise cancellation, which can allow users to remove their background noises. It has inbound noise cancellation that user can cancel out the noises coming from the other side. And we just brought a technology called AI accent conversion, which allows people, let's say like me, who have accent in English, basically to sound more neutral American English, right? And the platform is growing. And we also have like the other product specifically built for call centers. Basically, we bring all the technologies for the call center agents to make them productive. And we also have a product for the developers. So any other third-party company can build their voice AI solution based on our technologies. And we have like Ring Central, Discord, and many others using our product. And I would say also the current very popular AI companies also are using Krisp. I can't give their names, but like they do so, which is like I would say in a way we are also powering this voice AI revolution that's happening in the industry.
Yeah, we can see a lot of these names here, all names we've heard. There's Skechers on here, Autodesk, Siemens. I'm curious in the beginning because you like obviously became more widely known in 2020, but you had started this back in 2017, so 3 years. So I'm curious the journey of B2B versus B2C, your go-to-market and kind of the evolution of that with Krisp.
Yeah, our initial idea was to do like it's fully B2B, so basically provide technology to other platforms. But then we realized that we need to have some kind of like marketing, and then like the best marketing is the product itself, right? If you can bring it to the users, they can like start playing with the technology, start using it. They will basically go and champion the product inside the companies. That was our hypothesis. So we launched the app in 2018. Actually, it became like a product of the year on Product Hunt. It also was like quite of success. Um, but like it still was very hard for us to grow business before like the COVID hit and everyone became like online and on Zoom. Like one thing that we realized, it's super important for a startup to have the right product for the right time. And I think it's usually the formula of success. If you are behind the timing or ahead of the time, usually can't get big enough. Like if you have the right timing and the right product, you can grow like organically to big numbers.
Yeah, I'm curious at what point do you start charging?
Uh,
Was that from the
I
beginning?
think no, we started for free. It was for free for a year. from 2018 to 2019. And then we decided, okay, we have like a couple of thousand users. What if we introduce a paid plan? And so surprisingly, some people did, I could even recall the date was 12th June of 2019. So we realized that some people are ready to pay to have like unlimited noise cancellation. Um, and then we introduced the B2B plan, I think the beginning of 2020.
Yeah, I remember, Arto, I had the founder of Jotform on, and we were talking about this. And I think they've grown to like 25 million users, but I'm like, it's expensive to have a free plan. Like, how do you do that, right? Because he has a forever free plan. And obviously people upgrade, then they have to pay. How did you decide on which features that would be in kind of like the pro version?
That's a great question. So we used to be on freemium model. So we used to have a free plan until recently. I think we changed from freemium to trial a month ago or so.
Oh,
Um,
this was pretty recently.
yeah. So idea was basically to give everything in free plan with limited usage. So users basically can keep using free plan till the point that they're ready to upgrade. But then we made a decision to move to the trial because our product, in essence, is a business productivity tool, right? So people are making business calls. We are becoming more productive with this tool. So why shouldn't they pay for this, right? That's why we are giving everything in free trial for 2 weeks, actually for a week, and then based on if user likes the product, they can upgrade. Otherwise, we just churn. I think for B2B product is much more likely to provide it in trial monetization model rather than freemium.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a look. Here's, Jotform's pricing base. They have free, like a free forever. I'm like, that costs you real money, right? I mean, storage and customer support and all those things. But they kept it. It's like it helped them build the product, or the word of mouth and everything like that. I'm curious, what was the evolution of the features, right? Obviously, it was noise cancellation, and then you figured, you know what, we can't. Someone's going to just build this into their system, and they're not
Yeah.
going to need us anymore. And then you started creating, some other features, right? What was the first feature now it's got a number of features here, right? We talked about noise cancellation. It's got the accent conversion, which is really cool. I don't know if, I'm sure call centers use this, but I don't know if the regular users know like this is a thing on there. And then you have the AI meeting notes, it syncs with CRMs. What was the next? You have to choose something. What was the next feature you built? Because you're like, we're worried someone's going to knock off this noise cancellation.
Yeah, a few things there. First, we had an internal debate what kind of features we want to build, right? And we have like two groups of features. One, we basically called it an AI speech coach, which would tell user how to improve speech, the intonation, the accent, give recommendation, and so on. And the other set of features, we call it assistant features, which will basically do the work for the users. So let's say taking recording, taking transcription, taking summarization, and so on, or just transforming or removing the accent. So basically, we decided the ROI from user perspective, return on investment from user perspective, is higher with the assistant features rather than coach, who just gives like recommendations. So we started from
People
transcription.
want to be given a fish, not the fish, right?
Exactly. So we started from transcription, then I did recording, then like this workspace, which we group all the meetings across the company. I did like AI chat there, a lot of stuff. And then we brought accent conversion, and I agree, this is mainly for the call centers. But like, I can give a small spoiler here. We are bringing another type of accent conversion, which will allow people to change accent from which other users would have on the call. Let's say now we are having a call, you would be able to change my accent, and I would sound in neutral American for you with my voice.
Can you change it to other accents? Like, what if I wanted to sound smarter, like with a British accent?
Yeah, we can do that,
Okay.
but now we are mainly focused changing like Chinese, Indian, Russian, French, and German accent, and Latin accent to neutral American.
This is super interesting. How hard is that to do, though? I mean, um, it just seems like a very interesting, not easy problem. Where do the engineers start when you're like, okay, we want to basically have people just erase their accent from a video call?
Yeah, it's like very hard technology for several reasons. First, it's human voice. So when you do like a manipulation with the voice, it's very easy to basically spoil. Sorry, make the voice sound robotic, right? Basically, make it not working. And even like a small roboticness in the voice would make people very uncomfortable, and we would just delete the product. So this is like one big requirement. Second is the latency. So real time is important. So think about if like a solution which adds up a latency and I sound not very natural for you, it would be also a big problem. And like you resource consumption, it should be like very resource efficient in order to run on device. And also the data. So all AI models require data. So you need like data of the same person basically speaking in Indian English and then American English. And it's not easy to generate or find that kind of data in the internet. So actually it was a super hard problem. Our team probably worked for 3 years before we got to the point that it's at the quality that can be deployed for thousands or tens of thousands agents across the companies.
Early on, I think eBay played a role in this journey.
eBay?
Yes.
Uh,
Early on in your journey when you were first starting this company.
no, I think it was Discord.
I
What if?
mean, when you first started it, weren't you looking for a position at eBay?
Not really.
Oh,
No.
okay. I thought when you moved to San Francisco, there was an interesting story of why, like when you first started it, like you sold it to someone first before creating it.
Uh, yeah, actually, my co-founder David used to work for Twilio, and when we created the technology, the first thing that we decided to go and pitch this technology to Twilio. So they didn't buy it back then, but they decided to invest in the company. And then after like 2 years after the investment, they also decided to buy the technology. So yeah, I think David being uh, an early employee at Twilio and having all the insight in the industry really helped us to shape the company.
Love it. And, talk about how getting that first call center client. I mean, you could have like we have this hypothesis that call centers are going to want this, but them actually buying it. What was the first milestone of a call center actually saying, we're gonna implement this?
It's all happened organically. So when COVID hit, we started to get a lot of inbound leads, and I was like 50% were call centers. So apparently we saw that there is and we didn't have like any no prior knowledge or understanding of call center market, but there was like some strong product market fit, and we started to see market pull. So we hired our first sales people at the beginning of 2020, and the first deal I could remember that date, like $100,000 or something deal. Uh, we were like super surprised to see that like a company can buy Krisp for 1,000 people and deploy it at the scale, right? Um, and then we started to explore market. We hired like advisors, people who understand the call center industry and so on. And now we are scaled to 250,000 or more agents in the industry.
How was the raising money journey?
Um, at the beginning, it was super hard because we just had the technology and we didn't have like any traction or revenue or any other like important
Where were you living at
achievements.
the time?
We are part of Berkeley Skydeck acceleration program. So we moved to Bay Area for the acceleration program. And then after the demo day, Sierra Ventures gave term sheet to us. It was our seed round. And then we did like a seed extension in 2019. Twilio and other folks also joined. Like before we got real traction in 2020, it was super hard for us to pitch and raise the money. I think we met 150 plus investment firms back in 2018 before Sierra decided to invest in the company.
What was some of the feedback you were getting of why people were not going to invest?
That's a great question. Like features versus platform. So everyone said, okay, guys, you have a cool technology, but at some point, big guys will build like something
They're
similar
worried
in their
like
platform.
Zoom's going to go in and they can create some kind of Zoom can or some noise cancellation or something like that.
Or even worse, like macOS or Windows, we will bring it at the system level and give to it everyone, right? Every other like product. And it happened actually. They were right. But one thing which differentiates like startups is resilience. So how fast and how um, smart and how efficient you can bring new features, new technologies to the product to make it really like valuable for the users and have the stickiness. Otherwise, like every other solution could be replaced at some point.
Where do you see voice AI going now? I mean, you've been early on, that you spend, and your team spends their waking hours thinking about this stuff.
Few things there. I think we should differentiate between like two use cases, like human to human and human to computer. And I think most of the exciting stuff right now is happening in human to computer part, where all these voice bots are becoming like a thing, like starting from call center to personal assistants. Everywhere you can talk with voice AI bots, and I think it's super exciting because it's like a natural form of the communication between the humans. But I shouldn't be the same with the computer, right? And Krisp is basically in almost every other voice AI bot in the industry. So it's super exciting.
I know you were at CloudFest. What were some takeaways from CloudFest? Any interesting speakers to talk about from that?
So at CloudFest, we introduced our vibe coding for WordPress solution. I think it's a very exciting approach, basically bringing AI code generation to WordPress and um, bringing this vibe coding thing to WordPress. We also introduced our API to the market. So it's not only our platform that provides this service to the customers, but any other third party, like I don't know, hosting company, SaaS company, or agency can integrate our solution wide level under their brand inside their solution and provide all this vibe coding experience to their existing customers. I really believe it's like two things: this vibe coding in WordPress and API are going to like level up the WordPress ecosystem and make it more robust, more modern, and more ready for AI revolution.
And this is 10web.io, which I have on the screen here. What was some of the feedback you got from the conference and from people with 10web?
I think we had like one of the busiest booths. Um, all big hosting companies at C-level reached out to us. We made like a lot of demos. It was like super busy 2 days for the team, and we got a lot of excitement. And now is the time to materialize on this 2 days of hard work. But one thing that we realized that with this approach of basically democratizing website building technology through an API is like super powerful and could allow TimeWeb to really scale and also allow partners to provide better service to their customers.
So I'm wondering, you decided to go B2B for this, right?
Yep.
Why B2B as opposed to, you know, other routes?
Uh, like two things. First, like all the big platforms today are B2C. I know Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, all hosting companies, right? So everyone tries to get customer on their platform. But if you think about where customers live, it's like everywhere, right? They live in their CRM system. They live in their like domain registrar and so on. So why shouldn't we bring the website creation closer to the customer? So let's say if a customer buys a domain and at the same uh, point of sales, he also gets an access to one of the best website builders. Why shouldn't it, right? Or if customer, let's say a small restaurant runs on some kind of restaurant CRM, it's much natural to generate the website for the customer, having all his data, all their data in the CRM and connect the website to the CRM rather than having like two separate platforms. So I think being closer to the customer, where the customer live, is like a very essential idea. And nobody did it before through the API. And I think with this approach, we can really scale. I think about if a large SaaS company, which has 100,000 customers, decides to integrate TimeWeb, that means like 100,000 websites for us, right? And think about how many verticals are out there, how many hosting companies are out there who can use our solution to power their service for the customers.
So who is a good customer for that? Hosting companies you mentioned, what other type of businesses?
So we have three ICPs, ideal customer profiles. So hosting company would be number one. Second would be like vertical SaaS company. Think about, I know, service titans of the world, which are providing a vertical SaaS solution for some industry.
I
And
think
the
I saw
last one,
Service Titan on Krisp actually on the website somewhere.
yeah, very customer of ours.
Yeah.
Um, and lastly, distributors and managed service providers. So MSPs are were like MSPs which are focused on specific industries or specific cities, and they could become like kind of website building platform for their niche and for their industry. Um,
It'd be
and
like
we
a
see
line
like a
of
lot of
service for
traction.
them, another line of service.
Exactly, exactly, yeah. More like it's an opportunity for them to become SaaS product, right? They can not only provide service but also automatically like generate websites, bring all the features of TimeWeb to their customers under their brand.
How does so I'm looking here, 10 Web white label solutions. How does that work?
It's an API, so customers basically our customer basically um, does an API call, and we set up a isolated WordPress environment, and the front end and in that like WordPress, we provide this vibe coding solution for the WordPress, which is like a kind of plugin, and they can like build, I mean, do thousands of API calls and build a lot of websites. And for the resellers and MSPs, basically managed service providers, they just upload their branding into TimeWeb, and they can launch a copy of TimeWeb like in minutes. So it's much easier integration.
This is really cool. Um, on the funding side, when you're raising money, you raise separately for each of those companies, right?
Of
So
course, yeah.
what did the investors say to you, if anything? Say, listen, yeah, I want to give you money for 10 Web. You already have this whole other company that you're running also.
Yeah, it's a very common feedback that I'm getting, and I usually advise like younger or first-time entrepreneurs never do this. I like to emphasize how bad is the idea to start like two companies in parallel. I call it like stupid idea or the most stupid thing that I did in my like lifetime. Yeah, but it's a matter of execution. If you can show that you can build stuff you can bring customers, you can make them happy, and make your business grow, then you get also attention and eventually funding from the investors.
You're like, do as I say, not as I do, type of thing.
Yeah, and like like there's like some random guy who is running 5 public companies, and he's the richest person on this planet. So it's realistic, not for all of us, but like it's a matter of execution.
What's the most challenging part about running 2 companies?
Yeah, one thing which I didn't realize when I started these companies that the business is about business. So when the business scales, business requires the founder's attention more and more, right? So now, like Krisp is like a big company. We have like 4,500 clients. We have big team. We have new technologies, new products ongoing, and so on. And basically, you don't, as a founder, you basically do uh, time dilution and defocus, and sometimes you lose the priority, which absolutely could be like a disruption for the business. So, company at a time, that's the right approach for sure.
What kind of leadership team did you have to put in place for either of the companies?
First of all, my co-founders are amazing in both companies. So I would say I split my time 80% Krisp, 20 TimeWeb. And in TimeWeb, I have like 3 co-founders who run like one the technology guy, the other product, the other marketing. So it allows me basically just to be the strategy guy and the fundraiser for the company. Um, and then we also have the right suite of the executives who more like entrepreneurs rather than the classic executives, right? So we are very hands-on. They are into the details. We are like builders. They can create stuff for themselves. Very independent, and we put like goals together, and they just go and accomplish things. So this kind of like mindset is essential for any startup for the success.
Arto, it's really amazing what you've created here. I have one last question, and I want to encourage people to check out Krisp.ai, and you could check out tenweb.io to learn more. My last question is, I'm just your favorite tools and software in the AI space. It could be apps, it could be, software, whatever it is. Obviously, we have the ChatGPTs, the Geminis, but beyond those, what type of apps or software, and maybe you don't even use them, but you heard really cool things about them. Curious what's on your radar as far as the AI apps and software.
Like we use a lot of like tools inside the companies. Obviously, like Cloud Code, Cursor, for the coding. For the marketing, we use like 11 Labs for text to speech generating AI content, and for the sales, we use like Gong.io and other solutions. So a lot of stuff to which can bring productivity to the teams, and I believe there is the real potential for the AI.
Why did you choose Gong? I'm curious out of the other platforms out there.
I would assume we are the most specialized one for the sales. They call themselves like revenue intelligence platform, and they basically deliver on their message, right? We started using Gong probably 2-3 years ago, and we're pretty happy with the quality of the insights that the platform provides.
Love it. Yeah, I've been using things like Whisperflow a lot. I don't know if you've tested that or any of those other desktop apps.
No, I didn't test them out.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you, Arto. Check out Krisp.ai, check out tenweb.io, and we'll see everyone next time. Arto, thanks so much.
Thank you, Jeremy.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.